Welcome to the podcast, Truck Hauling Talks. I'm John Jackson. The goal of this podcast is to bring you thoughtful discussions, interesting points of views, insights, and valuable information that you can apply to your trucking operation. The podcast is dedicated to exploring the most pressing transportation challenges from development and start to implementation. Truck Hauling Talks believes that transportation is an essential part of our daily lives and is passionate about finding ways to make it more sustainable, efficient, and profitable for drivers and small businesses. Thank you for listening to Truck Hauling Talks. Now here's this week's podcast. So here we go. Thank you again for tuning in to Truck Hauling Talks with John Jackson, and I'm here with Chanel White of Wisdom and Authority Title Solutions, and we're going to be discussing this week auto liens. So if you have an automobile or a tractor that is in a situation with a mechanic or a lien holder, it could be other issues too. It could be a party from dealing with loans or monetary reasons why you have a lien on that auto, or mechanical reasons and failure of payment. So Chanel, I'm asking you the question, auto liens. What is it about it that we should know as truck drivers and those who own automobiles or package cars or box trucks? What should we know?
Well, it's going to be, I want to clarify, it's going to be two types of liens. There are two types of liens. When it comes to this type of situation of buying a vehicle or even retaining a vehicle, you're going to look at your basic lien, which is the financing. So if you don't have cash for the vehicle, of course, most people will, get it financed, which is a lien. You have a lien on your vehicle. The other aspect from the video that I did a few days ago was mechanic liens or tow liens or storage liens. So if you take your vehicle, if you are a trucker in this case, and you take your vehicle to the shop and you don't have the funds to pay for that vehicle, then the shop can put what's called a mechanic lien against your vehicle and, to try to recover from their losses. Also, let me say this, if you have a vehicle that has a lien on it, the mechanic can still put a mechanic lien on it as well.
Okay. So if they put that on your vehicle, you would have to make sure you pay them as well as your finances or the finance that you took out for that vehicle, the financial loan.
Correct. Now, there are cases too where the mechanic, if they work out a deal with the lien holder, and the lien holder says, we want that vehicle, then the lien holder is going to pass the cost on to you. If you reach out to the lien holder and say, yes, I want my vehicle, the mechanic took it or whatever, then you will have to go up to the lien holder and pay them whatever they had to pay to get your vehicle from the mechanic. Okay, so they may have to refinance your loan for the vehicle then. They may not. They might just add it on. Let's say you currently owe, let's say maybe $20,000 as an example to them anyway, and you're trying to get that vehicle out of the shop, and you owe $5,000. Right. So now you have $25,000 total that you're going to be paying. Okay. So they may not refinance. I mean, that would be the thing, but you're just going to pay whatever they had to pay out of pocket to get it. Okay. So is that a bad thing, or is that something that helps the driver out? It's going to be bad news for the driver because you're not getting away with that payment per se, that money. Now, the lien holder, if your truck is in good shape, and they feel like it's worth a security for them to hold it, right, then they're going to get that vehicle from the mechanic. Right. But if it's not in good condition, they'll probably just let it go. Oh, okay. But if it's a case where they're getting it, it's going to be bad news for you because if you want it back, you're going to have to pay the lien holder whatever they put out. Right. I mean, but is there... So that's money you're losing. Okay. So is there a way that they can work it out? Have you seen a case where the lien holder worked out something with the borrower where they allowed them to get the vehicle back and continue to use it for their... now I'm speaking on behalf of truck drivers, more so than someone who's using it for
everyday usage as far as their cars going to work. I'm talking about those who have businesses or, commercial vehicles. Have you seen a situation where they were able to work out something with the lien holder? And
once the lien holder, because the lien holders sometimes do speak with us as well regarding the process. Mm-hmm. We don't really get into the back end, like them working out a deal with the trucker. We do know that they'll say, well, if the customer wants it, they're going to pass the cost on to the customer.
Right.
How that works out, like, are they going to do installments or, whatever? We don't really have the, knowledge about that part. Okay. In terms of them working something out, because again, the trucker's going to be using it for work.
Right.
My thing is, you really don't want it to go that far, because the lien holder, again, they're going to pass those costs on to you. And then who knows, they might also add a penalty for allowing you to have it to go that far into that situation in the first place.
Okay.
So, it's really not a good thing, because you're still going to end up paying anyway.
Right. Okay, drivers, truckers out there, if you've been in a situation or you know of somebody who has been in a situation where they had to have a lien holder rescue their vehicle from a mechanic lien and had to get it back to them or keep it. I'm not sure what the outcome was from that situation, but if you know of anything that happened like that, make a comment, leave a comment for us and let us know what took place and what the results were. If it happened to you and you were in the trucking industry or you're in the trucking industry, let us know what took place and what it was that happened. I know you said earlier about tow bills. These tow bills can be ridiculous. They can be in the thousands, and that's just mildly speaking about that. But they can be very expensive bills just for the tow itself. So they're allowed also to take out a mechanic lien on the vehicle too.
They are. So vehicle storage companies that, store vehicles. Let's say, you take your vehicle, your tractor to a truck stop. Mm-hmm. Okay. That truck stop, if they want, they can either consider it abandoned depending on the state, or they can treat it as vehicle storage. So with a vehicle storage company, they can charge or put a lien on that vehicle, and they're going to be charging you storage fees. Okay. Or they can outsource it and they can have a tow company. It really depends on what they want to do. They can outsource it and have a tow company to come and get your vehicle from off of their lot, from the truck stop, for those that have, vehicle parking.
Right.
They can, give it to the tow company. The tow company in question can put a tow lien against your vehicle, and they can charge you tow and storage charges.
Okay. And that's set on whatever price they decide they want it to be, correct?
Depending on the state. Some states do regulate storage fees per day. So it really depends on their cap. And if there is no cap, then of course they can charge whatever they want. Okay. And keep in mind, those storage fees, they're really out of control. They add up a whole lot. So the sooner you work out some sort of plan or negotiations, the better off you'll be.
Okay. So drivers, I've seen where on YouTube you had various companies that were going around putting locks on tires or trying to tow vehicles, parking in front of the truck to tow it with the driver still inside of the vehicle. So just be careful wherever you go, whatever you do, make sure you find out if you are parking in a parking lot. Make sure that there aren't any type of regulations before you park in that space. Make sure that there aren't tow companies waiting to just move your vehicle when you get out of it. Ask around. The safest place to park is in the truck stops. But I understand when you don't have room to park and you need to do your 10-hour break or your 34-hour restart. So drivers, just be careful. Communicate with each other. And while we're on the subject, while you're communicating and being careful out there, look out for each other. We have a lot of drivers on the road now. Some of them are good, some of them aren't so good. But try to find the decency in your heart to be courteous towards each other. You're all going through the same thing out here. You're trying to make a living. You have an opportunity to move freight. Don't take it for granted. Everyone's not happy. Everyone isn't in an ideal situation, and we don't know what the next guy is going through at that time. He may be feeling some sort of way. We don't know what's going on in their home life. We don't know what's going on in their company life. We don't know what's going on in the truck with them. What kind of mechanical issues or electrical problems they could be having, or they could just be overworked. So if you can kind of extend a little bit more courteous behavior towards each other, it'll go a long way. I really do appreciate all the work you're doing out there. Even though people may not be telling you thank you, I'm telling you thank you. I know what you're going through. So be careful, be courteous towards each other. Take time off if you need to, get that proper rest. Don't let this job get to you. Truck Hauling Talks can't make this podcast a success alone. You'll be joining a transportation community who share the same dedication to this important topic. Not only will you hear about the latest videos when you subscribe, but you'll also have the opportunity to engage with Truck Hauling Talks and other subscribers in the comments section. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and explore the world of transportation with us. Be safe, driver.